to be talking about it, this would probably be the picture that we would be showing you of one of these large, perhaps long-lived and perhaps dangerous, destructive, strong tornadoes.
Now, Dr. Greg, these things are moving right along today, and as chasers do, he's been approaching the storm from the south on a north-south road. He was moving right along for a while there, but he has, as chasers also do, stopped because the storm is likely going to cross the road just off to his north. And as you mentioned, this is certainly a very dangerous storm. It's also a little bit front-lit here. Oftentimes tornadoes are backlit, and so they have a more of a blackish appearance, but the light is actually at his back, coming from his back, so that's why it's got more of a whitish appearance. So you're looking at the cloud there. That's the white part is the cloud, and then at the base sometimes you see some dust coming around, but now we're getting a much clearer picture. And folks, this is live. This is not tape. You were looking at a live tornado there near Rochelle, Illinois, and a very large wedge-shaped tornado now moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Dr. Greg, just an incredible sight there, and we can only hope that there aren't very many people in the way of this thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case, and we know that this is heading toward I-39, so you in fact can see the interstate right there. So let's hope that the traffic, the southbound traffic there is still going. You see there a couple of tractor trailers coming southbound, so you hope at some point that the state police will be stopping the traffic. Otherwise, you could have some people that are driving right into this. Off to the right of the big wedge tornado, you see darker skies, and you can see some of these brighter skies off to the left. So this is at the rain-free and then lowered rain-base type interface. And we talk about the interface of a downdraft and the updraft, where these big wall clouds and these big wedge supercell tornadoes form. And this is about as classic a view of that as we get, Carl.
You know, and I'm always amazed, you know, unless these people are storm chasers, and that's possible, but I'm always amazed when I see traffic going and there's a tornado in progress. You'd think that people would want to stop. I mean, if they're going away from it, that's a different story. Okay, now that it's getting closer to the road, now he's going to begin to come up from the south. So that's what he's wanted to do. He's wanted to slow down to get a sense of which way it was going, and now that he knows for sure that it's going to pass off to his north, he's going to try to go ahead and catch up to it. Actually, it looks like he might be getting off here, perhaps to get up to a better vantage point to get a little bit of elevation. Look at the truck, though, that is just powering full steam ahead right up towards that tornado. That is remarkable. Very strong tornado now near Rochelle, Illinois. And Dr. Greg, we've seen a lot of debris showing up on the radar, unfortunately.
Yeah, we really have. Brand new tornado warning for Macoupin and the Montgomery counties in Illinois as well. I'm not sure. Let me see if that is the same storm. That's a yet a new storm that's south of Springfield, Illinois, that also has tornado warning on that. So 3 tornado warnings now in Illinois. The one with by far the strongest circulation that we're seeing, and a big debris ball on radar, is the one that you're seeing the chasers following. It is getting just about ready to cross the interstate now. It is just to the south of the Lindenwood, or very close to Lindenwood, Illinois, as we have a tornado warning in effect for parts of DeKalb, Boone, Ogle, and Winnebago counties in north-central Illinois. Large and confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado near Hillcrest, moving just northwest of Rochelle and northeast at 45 miles per hour. So a light-threatening situation here for people in the path of this. Right now near the Lindenwood area, it will probably go near and just slightly to the south and east of Monroe Center, just to the west of Kirkland, Illinois, as it heads off toward the northeast. Very large and dangerous tornado. You're seeing it live as the chasers are moving with that to keep you and keep us able to see the tornado.
Dr. Ford, they've also just warned to the storm to the west. There's a circulation west of this large tornado that they just warned on. Let me get the county.
Yeah, I can get the county.
Boone and
just
Winnebago.
A brand new warning for Boone, Ogle, and Winnebago, as well as additional tornado warnings in additional states that are popping up. This area of Illinois, especially northwest Illinois, and earlier I'd said southeast parts of Iowa, were the area today that I gave a tornado condition index of 6. That was largely because this area was close to the surface low, had the instability and that extra rotation near the surface low, and unfortunately we're seeing that those ingredients are indeed materializing as we have 3 tornado warning storms now in that northwest portion of Illinois.
All right, if you are just joining us now, we have been watching a live tornado, watching a live storm chaser coverage there near Rochelle in Illinois, and we saw a massive wedge-shaped tornado just moments ago. So what he is doing now is he is tracking east. He got up as close as he wanted to get while driving north. The storm passed across the road. Now he is tracking east, and he'll turn north again to try to intercept that tornado once again. Now, we do want to tell you about some other tornado warnings. In fact, there is one right now for Toledo, Ohio, and let's go ahead and take a look at that on Max 6 while we continue to watch the storm chaser moving forward there. And this is now coming right up to the 80 corridor and moving off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So a tornado warning right now in effect for the Toledo Metro, and that cell is coming right towards downtown Toledo. Don't know if we can take a look at the radar view of that. Okay, there we go, and let's zoom on into that, Sean, and see what's going on with this storm. So we're seeing pretty strong rotation with this cell, and we'll track that out. That's coming now right across the south side of the Toledo Metro. That is a tornado warning for Lucas and Wood counties. That includes Maumee, Oregon, and Perrysburg. And Sean, let's go ahead and track out that circulation there. Very close to Waterville right now, and coming very close to 75 as well. There are actually a couple of circulations, but the stronger one is on the southwest side near Waterville, and that is now moving off to the east-northeast. That's going to take it into Dowling at about 8:16 and latch at about 8:27. Let's go to the high-resolution radar and take a look there. And once again, the stronger circulation is now near Waterville, and that is now moving up right across that Route 24 and seeing a pronounced velocity signature there. And that's now coming into that 12 and will be coming over into 75 as well. All right, so we continue to watch live storm chaser coverage there. That's near Rochelle in Illinois, and we had been watching a live tornado, and he is coming up on this tornado again. So if you are just joining us, we saw moments ago this very large wedge-shaped tornado, a white tornado, front lit. It's being illuminated from the front as regards the storm chaser's position, and he is now approaching from the south once again. He turned more to the east, and now he's turned to the north, and he's coming up to intercept this tornado once again. So it's a tornado in progress there, and a large one. We've seen debris in the radar signature, which means that either it has done damage at least to trees or possibly to structures as well. And if you notice there, you can see it illuminated by the lightning. Sometimes the picture gets a little bit grainier, which is something that you might expect when you've got a moving vehicle, a signal being broadcast from a moving vehicle. But you can see just behind the trees there, there's this wedge-shaped, cone-shaped tornado. And as he gets into a clearing and closer to that storm, we are once again going to be looking at a live tornado there in Illinois. Dr. Greg, what's the latest on the radar with that storm?
Yeah, and now he's come out into an opening. You can see that just to the left of the edge of that white cloud, you can see there is a tornado, still a big cone or wedge tornado. Just slightly, you can see that white cloud. Its right edge, just to the left of that, is the cone tornado. Underneath that big white wall cloud there. And this storm continues to have a debris ball in the area near the Lindenwood area, and continues to be heading up toward the Kirkland area, just to the south of Monroe Center, with a very strong rotation, with continuing to have a debris signature. In fact, the debris field may be expanding, as if that we've had the possibility that it has caused a bit of damage, and some of that is being dispersed as it's picked up into the air. Oh, okay, I have it in the telestrator. So the tornado, it's a little bit hard to see, but this big white cloud I talk about is here. There's the wall cloud, and then now we got into some trees, but just to the left of the edge of that wall cloud is where the tornado is located, right there. It's hard for me to see in the telestrator, but I can point to it by looking at the screen here, and the tornado is big. It's from there all the way across to there. It's a big wedge tornado, and then it angles its way up. It's even higher up as we get down toward the base of that wall cloud. So I had mentioned earlier, I thought it might be a little bit obscured and a little bit of layer of rain, and that may be the case here, the combination of shadows from the cloud above it. But there is definitely a wall cloud, definitely a tornado underneath that wall cloud.
Dr. Ford is getting reports of semis tipped over on the interstate, people trapped inside, their spotters stopping to assist them on the road. Did just cross Interstate 39.
Yeah, that's what Sarah's just talking about, what we had worried about a few moments ago that this was going to cross I-39, and we were seeing that the traffic had not stopped. We were seeing both northbound and southbound traffic, getting reports of semis that are overturned. Hope everyone is okay there. You can see there he's panned to the left. That would be off to the west, and it's clear skies right there, right up the road. He's heading directly toward it now. You can see the tornado, big wedge tornado that is showing up right there underneath this big wall cloud. So this is a classic, very wide tornado. I would guess, Carl, that this tornado is probably at least a half-mile wide.
Very large storm there, and we're going to talk to the chaser Matt Salo, who is behind the wheel of this particular chase vehicle. And Matt, are you there?
Yes.
All right, so you're coming up on this thing now. It looks like you are headed north once again, and what, about a half mile away, something like that?
Yeah, half a mile, probably a mile.
Okay, and you're moving right along there, and it's difficult to chase on a day like today, but you've been doing quite a job of it, keeping up with these storms. They're moving right along, aren't they?
Yeah, I've been tracking them since about 1 p.m.
And tell us what you're seeing right now. Obviously, you've got this large tornado just off to your right, so it is, you're in a safe position, relatively speaking. It's moving off to your northeast, and so you're coming up basically behind it relative to its movement of direction, yes?
Yes, that's correct.
Have you ever seen a tornado of this size?
Not this size, no.
How long have you been chasing?
This is 23 years.
All right, well, it's quite a storm there. This is Matt Salo, who's chasing Dr. Greg. It's amazing that this thing has maintained as much structure as it has, but this has really been a testament to how much energy is in the atmosphere today.
It really is, and while you were talking, I was making some measurements off the radar, and it looked to me as if the wall cloud was probably about 1.5 miles wide, as indicated by the total width of the debris ball that we see on radar. And probably the tornado, you can't get it perfectly, but I would estimate, based on the radar, as I had estimated visually, that the tornado is probably about 1/2 mile wide here. So this is a wide wedge tornado. It's probably about wider than it is up to the base of that wall cloud, and that when that happens, that's what we call a wedge. It's a large, menacing, potentially deadly tornado that is moving now off to the north and east of the Monroe Center area. It's going to go just to the north of Kirkland, Illinois, and then ultimately it's heading toward the Marengo area of northern Illinois. We're talking a tornado in progress in parts of tornado warning for parts of DeKalb, Boone, and Ogle and Winnebago counties in northern Illinois.
And Dr. Greg, when you have a storm that is this large, oftentimes within that larger wedge-shaped funnel, you're going to have what are called multiple vortices, or smaller tornadoes that rotate about each other and are often responsible for extreme violence because of the rapid change in the winds as they move around each other.
Yeah, Dr. Fujita back in 1971 proposed that those existed, and they can sometimes be hidden inside the outer edges of the funnel, and dust and debris that is being picked up by the tornado, but they revolve about the tornado, sort of like the individual horses in a merry-go-round. And they too, when they're there, they have their own counterclockwise circulation. They have their own low pressure, and so their wind speed adds to the wind speed of the parent tornado and can give you even more damage in the places that they hit. And we're seeing now, I believe, we're seeing some damage that this tornado has done, Carl.
All right, we want to go back out to Matt Salo, who's behind the camera right now. And Matt, tell us where you are right now, what town this is, and what you're seeing. Obviously, it looks like we've been hit pretty hard by this tornado in this town.
Yeah, this town looks like Fairdale. Yeah, there's a lot of damage here. Trees down everywhere. This looks like it was a really, really strong tornado. I'm not sure I can even get through the town at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, this looks really bad.
So we're looking at, looks like we're looking at trees that have been sheared off around the middle, and a lot of structural damage, unfortunately, as well. We hate to see this kind of thing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, Matt Salo, stay on the line with us, and Dr. Greg, you know, we are fascinated by weather, but this is the part that we really don't like, and this is the reason why we put so much energy into tracking these things. And unfortunately, we have just been hit here by a tornado in, is it Fair Lawn? Is that right? Is that what I heard?
That I believe so. I'm not seeing
Fairdale, Illinois, has just been hit by a tornado, and Dr. Greg, this is sort of the worst part right here.
Yeah, it really is. You can see all the small branches have been stripped off the trees here. A lot of the times that is by flying debris, and you see that big piles of debris ahead of them. I don't think he's likely to be able to go very much farther. He's coming into the south edge of the tornado. The tornado winds are weak out on the edge, and then as you get right in toward the edge of where the funnel cloud has gone, or the funnel of the tornado, I should say, has gone, that's usually where the strongest winds are, just slightly to the south of the center of the tornado itself. And he's apparently now gotten very close to that, where I cannot see exactly the nature of the damage, but I believe I see back in behind there some parts of a roof off of a house. I still see some houses that are standing in there, but I also did see that there were some mobile homes in this location. He's panning around. It looks like some structure right there. That may have been a mobile home. Looks like it has disappeared. So, and roof is gone. Oh, there we have roof and wall.
All right, Greg, your mic has gone down, so I'll go ahead and pop in here. And we're looking at a structure that looks like it's pretty much gone. Let's go back to Matt Sapo, who is the chaser that is watching this debris. Matt, tell us what you're looking at right now. Obviously, it looks very, very bad indeed.
Yeah, it's really bad. There's some houses that are...
I'm sorry, go ahead. All right, sounds like we just lost Matt. This is Matt Salo, and again, we are in the town of Fairdale, and people beginning to come out now. We are looking at what appears to be very serious damage. Their entire structures, perhaps if not leveled, extremely damaged. And yes?
I have some new information. Mike Chesterfield, one of our producers here, he was saying that if we get up into the Marengo and Woodstock areas, there's a lot of people up there. We've got about 10,000 people in Marengo and Woodstock, and those two cities you're talking about, the suburbs of Chicago there. Okay. So we've got a lot more population. This could, excuse me, could be moving into.
So let's go back to Dr. Greg. Let's go ahead and take a look at those other storms then while we continue to watch this live feed of the damage coming out of Fairdale. And this is what we had feared, folks, as we were watching this large tornado, and it's not over yet, not by any stretch. And we've got a couple more storms to tell you about. Dr. Greg, do you have that for us?
Yes, indeed. Well, that, in fact, that Woodstock,